Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. My name is Jefferson Howe. I'm a principal solutions engineer for mParticle, and welcome back to Tech Mondays or Tech Tuesdays sharing session. Normally, what I do in my Tech Mondays or Tech Tuesdays sharing session is I try to showcase, highlight, and explain key use cases that are available within the market using the different leading edge and modern technology that's already available. In this segment or in this session, what I'm going to focus now is the media industry. Hence, the title is Welcome to the Age of Media Personalization. When I mean personalization, this is allowing you as an organization to dynamically drive the content of your streaming website or streaming app, right, depending on what's the end user's preference or recent behaviors. A preference could be as simple as them setting a genre they like, which sometimes a customer would do or an end user would do. But sometimes to get that favorite genre or content based, you can actually use their behavior. When I mean behavior, especially for the media and audio industry, if you're tracking all the content that they're watching, this could be short video or short clips or long clips, depending on what your streaming service provides. You can use that as a way to track whether if a customer or end user actually liked or did not like the video. A good example would be if you're delivering short clips, short video clips, what you can track is basically if the customer tries to watch the entire short clip, then basically that video content or that audio content is relevant to him. That user can get plus points if he tries to share the content or like the content or even comment on the content, but versus a customer who actually loaded a video but actually stopped in the first 5 seconds. Basically, that content is not relevant to him, right? So in my use case, I'm an avid sports fan. So basically my video history is purely driven by NBA clips, whether it's the top 5 plays or maybe highlights of the last game. So as a customer, what I would want is basically the next time I log into the website or your streaming app, the content I should show is more on sports versus a customer who actually likes action movies. So you might give that customer action movies as well. And to deliver that end-to-end capability, what we're going to use is several key vendors. And the first vendor I want to highlight is mParticle. mParticle will act as the customer data platform in the solution use case. Then the other 2 platforms, or the other 3 platforms I'm going to use is Braze for customer engagement. In this example, we're going to use a push notification to trigger something if a new content has been published by the creator, especially if the subscriber has subscribed or liked the content. Then to make your engagement with your customers more relevant, maybe you want to provide them a survey functionality where we're going to use UserLeap here. And how we're going to do that is basically if someone likes a video twice or watched the video twice, maybe let's trigger a survey form and automatically the user can try to provide feedback through the survey form. From an identification standpoint, in this use case, we're going to cover AWS Cognito as the identity provider, wherein we're going to extend that Cognito capability to Alexa because Alexa can run without authentication. But for this one, to create that personalized content, we're going to leverage Cognito as the authentication provider. Whenever someone wants to enable a skill, then once the skill has been enabled and Alexa knows who they are, we're going to use mParticle's profile API to get the current video history that user recently has done. Then Alexa will recommend a video or an audio that's dependent on the last history that the user has done. So rather than talking about that, let's go to the meat of this presentation. So for the meat of this presentation, before I start with that one, I want to give a highlight of what is mParticle. So mParticle is an infrastructure customer data platform. Then a customer data platform, as per Gartner, is defined as a marketing technology that unifies a company's customer data from marketing and other channels to enable customer modeling and to optimize the timing and targeting of messages and offer. So in here, what I'm going to focus more is how I am able to stick marketing technology stacks like Braze, UserLeap, and other technology stack, which is Amazon Cognito and Amazon Alexa, to enable customer modeling and optimize the timing and targeting of messages and offers. What's nice about mParticle, we actually recently released a white paper which talks about what are the different types of CDPs and basically what mParticle does within that space. So if you want to learn more, just go to this link, then you should be able to download a white paper. So another summary of mParticle, what we normally do and what we work with. So basically, we have 4 platform components. We cover it: data infrastructure. This is covering data in, data out, ability for us to integrate any data at any source and basically orchestrate that data to any target of your choice, whether it's a MarTech system or a tech system. We understand, given you're ingesting and egressing data, you want to apply some data quality. So as part of mParticle's capability, we provide data quality as a core capability, where we want to maintain accurate and consistent data. It allows you to standardize your data such that any developer can rely on that data plan or that data schema and use that as a starting point when they're sending data to the platform. And we can also immediately transform data on the fly or in runtime if there's a need to. We also believe that security, with a security-first mindset, that's why we apply data governance as part of the core capabilities of mParticle. This is how us or mParticle is able to conform with different different data privacy standards, whether it's GDPR, CCPA, and other standards that you might be working with, given that you could be located in a different country which doesn't apply or which doesn't use GDPR or CCPA. And lastly, we want to personalize content, wherein we want to use data as the power, as the funnel for this personalization. So here, what mParticle provides is a profile API, which is a high throughput API that allows us to share the data that we capture over time about a certain user and basically expose that in an API extensibility format such that any system can use that API to understand who's the user is currently at. And as you can see, customer data is a team sport. Hence, we would work with different teams, and this is how mParticle does it. We empower engineering and platform teams, wherein they can actually use our SDKs, APIs to connect and pre-built connectors to connect different input and outputs. Allows data science and analytics teams to actually enforce data quality, whether, again, as said, using data plans as part of our process. From a security standpoint, we work with the CIOs, DPOs, CISOs, such that we are able to enforce the proper security standards you enforce within your organization. And lastly, from a data-driven personalization approach, we work with product and marketing teams wherein we expose them all the data points we capture. We empower them by creating additional data points that are not captured, but more of aggregation of existing data points. And lastly, allowing them to syndicate that data to downstream system, whether it's in the form of audiences or just plainly sending events down to those systems. So this is what mParticle provides as a core capability within the CDP space. So now let's go with the proper use case on how mParticle empowers real-time media personalization, which is the meat of this Tech Monday or Tech Tuesday sharing session. So here, let's start off with, on the left-hand side, your content. This could be a video content. This could be an audio content. Again, as I said earlier, it could be short clips, long clips, depending on what type of service you provide to your consumers, right? So let's say if you're with TikTok and Instagram, could be short clips. If you're YouTube, it could be longer clips. So given that you have content, media content and audio content already being created by your websites, either by you or by collaborators, what you want to do is create a channel that allows them to post or publish that content, right? So in today's world, normally we would see media or audio content be exposed in a website, in a mobile app, or it could be a tablet app, or sometimes it could be exposed in a voice command device like Amazon Alexa or Google Home, right? So that's one channel, or that's multiple channels that allows you to publish your content. Given that you have different channels where how you publish publish your content and basically how your users are able to access that content. Eventually, you want to capture all those events and user information or profile data such that you are able to understand what a user is trying to do within your website or your mobile app or your OTT device. So here, what we can do is basically push all those events to mParticle, which is the CDP. Given that mParticle is collecting information about the user from behind, about the user from events and some basic information, basically you're now starting to build a customer profile, right? So normally in this journey, they can start off with an anonymous user profile, right? We don't know about who's the user, who's the actual user until they sign up. But there's a new concept called progressive profiling, which allows you to collect profiles in a progressive manner such that users are not bogged down on filling up a long sign-up sheet just to provide details about themselves and basically allowing them to consume your service, because not everyone has the patience to sign up for it. So what we're doing now is basically using progressive profiling capability or technique to collect events and information about the user. And basically, this could be just us building slowly the user attributes about that customer profile. This could be as simple as if they decide to access more content, you'll show up a sign-up sheet where they would ask, that sign-up sheet will just ask for an email. Eventually, if they go to a certain page of your website, you might ask about their first name, last name, or address, and so forth. So you're actually building the profile in a progressive manner. Once the user has done that progressive profiling approach and has decided to, I want to subscribe to the service, they can now sign up for an account. And here, we would now collect the identity attributes. When I mean identity attributes, this is more on user identity. So in this use case, we're going to use AWS Cognito as the authentication provider or identity provider, wherein we will have users be created in Cognito such that whenever they try to log in again, they can reuse the same Cognito account they registered with us. And we can actually extend that to our web app, to our mobile app, and even to our Alexa skills, because all these platforms can connect to a single identity provider using Auth 2.0, and this is what AWS Cognito provides. In here, once we're able to have that user sign up, then basically the user identity could be the username. For this example or this use case, we're going to use the email as the username. Then lastly, as a marketeer, maybe you already have all the data points you're capturing, but you want to capture video history or audio history of a certain user. Rather than asking your developers to create a new code or inject a new code within the app to create that video history list, why not use one of mParticle's key features called calculated attributes? So here, what calculated attributes provide is basically allowing mParticle to create a dynamic attribute that will derive the data from the existing data points that we capture. And in this use case, we're going to use the playback, the video titles or the video genres that the user has played over time, or the audio playlist that the user has played over time, and basically build a history of all the unique genres that he liked, such that later on, when we use a recommend capability in Alexa, Alexa will use that the value within that history playlist, basically getting the latest history, getting the latest item from the playlist history, and basically what genre was the last played. And if the genre is equal to sports, then recommend a sports content. If the genre was more on action, then recommend action content rather than a sports content. So once you already have all the data points already in place within mParticle, the next or the last step is basically orchestrating that data, whether it's an event data or audience data, to downstream system. Here, we're going to use Braze as a downstream system, wherein we'll send a subscribe event or a like event. And basically from there, Braze will use that to trigger push notifications later on if a new content has been created by the publisher or by the creator. And we also will send the audience data to UserLeap, such that if someone has played the video twice, that user will be added to an audience called played twice. then have UserLeap use that audience membership to decide when the survey should show up. So that's like the end-to-end solution use case that we're going to highlight for this Tech Mondays or Tech Tuesdays sharing session. So rather than showing slides, let's now actually do the demo, which is time to watch. So let me now stop sharing. Yep, give me a second, stop sharing. So let's get on with the demo, right? So to highlight the demonstration, I actually built a web app, which is emulating a website or a service that provides media and audio content. As you can see, I've injected the mParticle SDK using the partner kit SDKs provided by Braze and UserLeap. I was able to automatically using that SDK, the partner kits to automatically initialize, right? And I just need to use the mParticle lines of code, and automatically that forwards the events and the attributes that are being collected on the website directly to Braze and to UserLeap. So now if I actually refresh this page, you can see I should see streaming events being captured. As you can see, this user went to the home page. That's why there's a screen view event. If we dig further here, if we want to see this user, given that this user is not yet known, as you can see, customer ID and email is not yet available. And what's nice about that one is basically this, I will take you through on how you can slowly take this unknown user, anonymous user to unknown user, right? So if we try to see the user attributes, there's a calculated attribute I created where it shows when was this anonymous user first seen. Given that that this anonymous user hasn't played anything yet from audio or video, that's why everything is blank. Even the Kobe videos are valued at 0. So all the symbols that are shown here, which are represented with a calculator attribute or calculator icon, is what mParticle calls a calculated attribute. And with calculated attributes, you're able to dynamically create new new attributes, and this is going to look up all the existing data points that have been captured for a certain user profile or a certain customer profile where there's anonymous or known. So to create a calculated attribute, one just need to go inside the mParticle admin console, go to data masters, then calculated attributes. And from here, it's actually easy to create one. I'll use the video playlist history, right? And what I'm doing is using a list function, right? I'm just creating a unique list of all the genres that the user has played, and basically the content type is video. And I'm also setting a date range such that every time after 15 days, if the user decides to play a new set of genre, any old genre can be replaced or be appended upon, right? And what's nice about this calculated attribute, you don't need a developer or an engineer to automatically create that using code. A marketer can just go into the dashboard, and from there, they can create this dynamic attribute, or what we call calculated attributes. To show that in Enforce, let's go back to live stream. Let's go back to this one. So let's say I want to go to this video, which is a Kobe Bryant video. As you can see, I went to Kobe Bryant video, then automatically generate a screen view event, right? As you can see. Then if I try to play this video, created a play event, a session start event. Given I pause it, I'm expecting a pause event that's going to come in as well. As you can see, all these events are being captured using the mParticle Media SDK. So this is one of the key value propositions that mParticle provides, where we provide a media SDK that allows you to collect and track media events, whether they're video or they're audio. And you can actually even create your own or capture your own custom attributes such that you can use these custom attributes from an activation or syndication point of view. Given, let's say I already played the Kobe Bryant video once, the expectation is that my Kobe videos watch is already ticked to 1. My video playlist history has been set to sports. So if I do that the same thing all over again for audio, let's go back to audio. Yep, I'll go down here, click audio. If I try to lessen the volume, just play. So as you can see, this is how mParticle tracks audio events. Same thing with the video one earlier using the same SDK. The only difference is that the content type will be audio. And if I go back to this user profile, if I go back to the user attributes, the expectation is that the audio playlist history is now set to jazz. Let's go back to the home page. Let's say this customer decides to say fully decided to, I want to avail the streaming content services by registering an account. So what I did was integrated Cognito, AWS Cognito with this web app such that whenever someone wants to create an account, they can just click login using Cognito. And as you can see here, the user is taken to a Cognito hosted login page. Given this user is a new user, they might want to sign up for an account. So I'll click sign up. So here, let's say I'm going to use a demo sports fan at mailinator.com. Same thing, demo sports fan. I'm putting my phone number, demo sports fan, paste and put in a strong password. So once I click sign up, part of the Cognito process, oops, I think I provided the wrong number. So let's go back again. Demo sports fan. Yep. Demo sports fan. Sorry about that. Yep. If I click sign up, this will require me to enter a verification code that's sent to the email. So I'll use Mailinator, which is a free service that allows me to spoof email addresses. As you can see here, Cognito automatically send me a verification code. So I'll just click that, copy that one, paste that here, confirm account. Then as you can see, I'm now getting a JavaScript alert saying that this user is now transitioned from an unknown user to a known user. Hence, all the information has been being captured from the mParticle SDK and being translated back to the web app. And as you can see here, given the last video I played was sports, automatically the website gets personalized based on genre that I recently played upon, which is sports. Hence, if I go down to the video, rather than seeing action video and a cooking video, automatically sports videos are shown. And I can even see the audio is now changed to a sports podcast, such that it's now custom tailored to the end user that has registered, and using the previous events that was captured via mParticle, it allows the web app to personalize it using the profile API, which we provide. And if I go back here and refresh this page, automatically, as you can see, the email has been replaced with the captured email that was used to register during the Cognito side. And as you can see, even the first name, last name, mobile numbers, which was entered earlier in the Cognito area, has also been captured as part of the registration process. And if I want to go back here to the video side of things and decide to, let's say, subscribe for this content, subscribe. As you can see, I just subscribed. The expectation is that this will send that subscribe event to Braze, and Braze in the next few seconds should respond back with a push notification saying that if a new content is already available, that end user gets notified of that new content. As you can see right now, see, that's what's happening. Braze is triggering this push notification that will immediately notify the user if a new content is already available. Then if I try to play this video a couple of times, again, this will increment the Covey views counter. let's say I'll make it 2. And if I try to refresh the page, the expectation is that that counter gets forwarded to UserLeap, wherein if the counter is more than 1, I think 2 or 3, I believe, that should trigger a survey process. Yep, as you can see now, the survey kicks in. So what happened is that the counter is being used as a criteria, saying that if you played the video more than twice, you get added to the Kobe fan or sports fan survey audience, and that audience gets syndicated down to UserLeap, wherein UserLeap uses that information to decide when a survey needs to be presented to that user. And this is how we activate that capture data in real time. So here, as you can see, I'm being asked for a survey, and this survey is just asking, what is your primary goal for using mParticle, right? So if I click this one, that should basically finish a survey. But as I said in my solution architecture overview earlier, we want to take this in a next level, right? Where you might have an Alexa device, you created a custom skill, and you want to extend that skill with mParticle. So let's go back to the Alexa console. So what I did was I created a skill called Alexa skill MP2 to invoke this skill. Basically, the invoke is calling hey CDP or test CDP, sorry. And inside that one, there are certain intent types. So intent types basically is just once you have invoked the skill, what do you want that skill to do? So what I did was there's a recommend video and recommend audio intent, wherein I actually created some invocation intent saying that if I said recommend video based on the last video history or the played video history, it will pick up the genre and from there use that genre to recommend video. Same goes with the audio as well. So let's test the audio first, because what's nice about the Alexa developer console, it allows you to test audio files. So what I'm going to do is go to test. Yep, and as you can see, I can invoke hey c dot, I think it's c dot d dot p, test c dot d dot p.
Welcome to mParticle CDP Player. Ask to suggest or recommend to start listening.
Audio. As you can see, I've already integrated the skill with Cognito. That's why the access token here actually refers to the access token, which was earlier, which was used when I was demoing the demo sports fan. So what happened here is that once you're linking a skill, it will require you to log in first. And once you're logged in, that access token will be persisted forever in your Alexa. Then the access token will now know, they will define who you are. For this one, the person is demo sports fan at mailinator.com. Let's now recommend an audio.
Start playing Ben Sound Dreams.
So as you can see, that's how we actually invoke that skill. And if you want to see how did that happen, if you go to live stream, as you can see, a custom event was generated. So what I did was I actually integrated the Alexa skill, which is empowered by a Node.js SDK in the backend, to use the Media SDK as well, and the mParticle Node.js SDK. Hence, I'm able to connect the Alexa with mParticle, wherein using the the Node.js SDK provided by mParticle, I'm able to create a custom transaction event wherein I made the name as Alexa recommend event, and that actually gets tied back to the same profile earlier. So if we want to take this further from a video perspective, I actually made a video which allows you to I recorded earlier a video wherein I use my Alexa Echo, which has the screen, And basically, rather than playing a video, I played a video. So here is how the recording went. It's a test CDP.
Welcome to mParticle CDP Player. Ask to suggest or recommend to start listening.
Recommend video.
Here's your video. Enjoy.
Just a single game of playoff hoops on a Saturday night. We got Top 5 right here on NBA.com at number 5. Drew Holiday working that baseline tiptoe over to Giannis for the huge hammer throw. The Greek freak can slam with either hand, and this time he goes southpaw spike at number 5. On to number 4. Same participants, but this time it's an inbound throwdown as Giannis brings the pain right down the lane at number 4. At 3.
So overall, that's how you would leverage mParticle as the CDP to orchestrate any data that we capture, whether it's a web or your mobile app, or could be even Alexa, when using those different behaviors and different data points that we capture and using dynamic derived values or variables using calculated attributes of mParticle, it allows you to use those information to dynamically do personalization, media personalization. And that's one of the value props of mParticle, wherein from there you are now able to stitch all the different user identities, behavioral activities, and even information that's being captured by our third-party system. Like a good example would be if someone decided to click the push notification, that push notification clicking could actually be captured back to mParticle, and from there you can decide on what's your next best action, right? And that's just basically making sure that you're able to create that stickiness and also drive a better way of providing service to your customers. I hope you find this demonstration useful and insightful. I hope you can try it out as well from your end, because I believe this is already possible and plausible. It's just a matter of like trying to test it out. Thank you for watching, and also if you want to subscribe, please subscribe. I hopefully after this presentation or demo, I should be able to wrap something a new one again, right? I'm just gonna focus more on the quick serve restaurants, and a quick sneak peek of the QSR demo would be more on how do you leverage location geo awareness as a way to drive real-time offers and competitive advantage to your competitors. So again, my name is Jefferson Howe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next Tech Sharing Monday or Tuesday session.